Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Thursday, the 9th of February 2023. In today's Millwall news, we have this from the londonnewsonline.co.uk, South London Press's online website. Millwall forward nominated for Championship Player of the Month for January. Him there, that's him, Tom Bradshaw. Millwall forward Tom Bradshaw has been nominated for Championship Player of the Month for January. The Welshman, who joined the Lions from Barnsley initially on loan before making the deal permanent in 2019, played a role in all four of Millwall's goals last month. Wow, we scored 4 goals last month. Bradshaw scored 3 goals last month. He bagged a brace in a 3-0 win over Rotherham and forced an own goal from Cameron Humphreys. The former Walsall and Shrewsbury Town forward also scored the winner in a 1-0 victory away to Cardiff City. Bradshaw has made 144 appearances in all competitions during his time at the Den, scoring 31 times and registering 7 assists. Norwich City midfielder Kieran Dow has also been shortlisted for the award. Burnley left-back Ian Matson has also been nominated. And the final nominee is now Bournemouth striker Antoine Semenyo, the ex-Bristol City forward, who left the Robins in the January transfer window, bagged 3 goals and assists in the Championship last month. Well, that'll be fun if he gets it in. Will he even accept it? I mean, he's getting it for the last month when he was at Bristol City, and he's now at Bournemouth. So the winner will be announced on Friday morning. I bet you all can't wait. The judging panel for the Sky Bet Player of the Month comprises Sky Sports EFL expert Don Goodman, EFL Chief Executive Trevor Birch, and Sky Bet EFL trader Ivor Davies. Yeah, we'll see. But what does Gary Rowett think about that? I bet you're all wondering that, don't you? Well, this is from the southernnews.co.uk. We've got word about Gary Rowett. As Gary Rowett is delighted as Millwall Trio receive award nominations. Zion Fleming and Billy Mitchell and Tom Bradshaw have all been picked out for their impressive performances for the Lions. But yeah, I told you about the other two the other day. 3 Millwall players have been nominated for awards based on their impressive performances in the Championship. Zion Fleming and Billy Mitchell have both been highlighted by the London Football Awards, the former in contention to win the English Football League Player of the Year, and the latter aiming to pick up Men's Young Player of the Year. Mitchell, in particular, faces incredibly stiff competition, with Arsenal trio Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli and William Saliba also nominated alongside Crystal Palace's Michael Olise. Manager Gary Rowett told News at Den that he's delighted that the duo have been recognised for their efforts so far this season, highlighting the fact that both can reach the highest level of the game if their careers maintain the same trajectory. Take Zion first and foremost to have been nominated. He's had a fantastic season so far, not least because it's his first season in English football, his first season in the Championship, his first season in Millwall. He's been excellent so far, and when you work with him day to day, you also see what a diligent professional player he is. I've got no doubt that he'll go to the top one way or the other. We're enjoying having him as part of our team at the moment, and that award really goes to show the progress he's made. We're hoping that he can show a similar level of progress in the second half of the season. Well, it's just a nomination. He hasn't actually got the award yet. Just a nomination. Billy's a young player in good company. In terms of the other players who've also been nominated for the award, it might be a tough one for him to win it, but he shows that progress and his level of maturity. He's almost one of the first names on the team sheet at the minute, and that shows that. As a manager, I trust him, but it also shows the progression he's made. I still think there's more to come, but I think he's moving forward really, really nicely as an all-round box-to-box midfielder that can do a bit of everything. This morning, the EFL announced that striker Tom Bradshaw had also been nominated for the Sky Bet Championship Player of the Month award for January, having found the back of the net 3 times in just 3 games, including the brace against Rotherham United and a crucial winner against Cardiff City. He's up against Kieran Dow, Ian Matson and Antoine Semenyo, which I just told you about, with the winner set to be announced on Friday, February the 10th. Bradders is the same. What an invaluable member of the team, Rowett added. He works so hard and comes in with a smile on his face. He's added those regular goals to his game over the last period of games. He's up there on 7 for the season. He could have had a few more. He certainly tried to claim a few more, I know that much. He'll claim anything, Bradders. He's been brilliant. He plays for the team. He runs, chases, presses. He does everything with everything. he's got, and he's added those skill finishes to it. The nomination is very much deserved. So there you go. There's what Gary Rowett thinks about that. Speaking of Gary Rowett, we've got him here talking about the injuries and how he doesn't think that they're going to mess the team up. Well, we certainly do hope that as Millwall fans don't. So this is also from the southernnews.co.uk. Millwall manager adamant that injuries won't derail playoff charge. Gary Rowett is expecting to use his entire squad over the next few weeks as the Lions look to break away from the chasing pack. Gary Rowett was not concerned about Millwall's injury list despite a number of players being unavailable for the next few weeks. The Lions' woes worsened over the weekend when Mason Bennett picked up a serious ankle injury in their 1-1 draw against Sunderland, while Sean Hutchinson, Tyler Burry and Callum Stiles are all expected to miss a large chunk of games as well. It leaves them with a thin squad, some of which they struggled with at the same stage of last season. Millwall relied on youngsters such as Nana Boateng and Zach Lovelace to impact games off the bench. They will have to do the same with the likes of Romain Esse between now and the end of their campaign. Despite this, Rowett is not concerned that the lack of options will derail his side promotion push, adding that there is more than enough quality in the squad to secure a top 6 finish at the end of the campaign. I think if you look at it, we're in a fantastic position, he told News It Then. If you look at the league table after so many games, with a game in hand, or two on the teams above us, and we're less than 2 points behind the majority of them. You only have to go and put in one good performance in those 2 games, and you're in the top 6. So for me, that's a huge positive. Indeed, very, very well said, Gary. But those 2 games in hand are at home to Burnley, the runaway league leaders, and away to Luton, who are also doing pretty well. So easier said than done, my friend. Easier said than done. We know what we are. We always know we're going to need a bit of luck and we're going to need a little bit of fortune to keep the players available. We always know that we're 2 or 3 injuries away from the squad being a little bit thin. But that's what we are, and we understand that. We haven't got the riches and the resources of some of the other clubs in and around us, but we've got a hell of a lot of other things going for us. We've got a lot of fight. We've got a lot of spirit. We've got players like Zion playing really well. And I believe he's got the ability to be as good as any of the players in those top 6 teams, like many of our players. There are massive positives. You saw it in the weekend. Hutchie's out, and Cressy comes into the team and he performs. That's going to have to happen. At some point, Shax will go into the team. Shax will have to perform for us. Lenny will have to come in and perform. We've got Berkey. We've got what more? We've got options, and you're only going to have to be as good as your squad. If our squad is good enough, then regardless of how many injuries we get, it'll be good enough. And that's what we're about. So we'll stick together, and we'll keep on fighting. Hey! Moo! Let's go out there. Oh. Indeed. So. Oh, God. It's messed my voice up. I can't speak. So this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. They're out there. Millwall sellout away section at QPR's boss Gary Rowett excited by future fixture heavy month for the Lions. It seems Gary Rowett is excited by a lot of things today. Excited by the players getting nominated for awards. He's excited about the squad that we've got, and he's excited about QPR away and all the fans going there and all the fixtures we've got this month. So Gary Rowett is looking forward to seeing his Millwall side play in front of a packed out away following Saturday's match at QPR. The Lions will have 3,000 supporters at Loftus Road. Ours manager, Neil Critchley, has described his side as not being in a great moment after just 1 win in their last 10 matches, 4 of those defeats. Oh, that sounds a bit tasty. Do you think we could get this guy fired if we beat them this weekend? May be possible. We do have a situation, a reputation of doing that to managers, getting them fired. Millwall can move back into the Championship top 6 this weekend if results work in their favour. Well, okay. They've got good players and a good manager in Neil. Rowett told the South London press. They had the change with Michael Beale going to Rangers, which I'm sure hasn't helped their continuity, just by losing the manager in the middle of the season when they were in a good position. Did they lose a good manager when they were in a good position? Now they got a bad manager now. I'm sure the fans probably are not too happy. Fans always got something to moan about, though, haven't they? It's a tough one to come into the mid-season and maintain that. It's not for me to judge where they are, why they are where they are, and what the form is like. We view every game the same. That form can end in a heartbeat. If we don't perform, we'll turn up and do the right things on the day. If we do, if we make it difficult for QPR, then we've got a team that can go there and get a result. But we know we'll have to be at the top of our game, just like at Cardiff, Preston, Watford and Bristol City. If you don't do it properly and perform to the top of our game, then you don't get anything in these types of matches. We'll go there, get on the front foot and try and find the right blend. If we can, we'll have a go in front of our fans. That's what it's all about. 3,000 travelling. Incredible following. The crowd are doing their bit at the moment. It's down to us and the staff and the team to do our bit in return. It's always a good atmosphere there. The stands are quite close to the pitch. Over the away end completely packed. It will just add to that. I'm really looking forward to the game. You get to this stage of the season where you want the games. I know we've got a lot coming up in February. And it looks a tough month. But you'd rather be doing that than training every day. We're going to be doing a lot of playing, recovering with very little preparation time. This is our last week before we get that extended run of games. I've never gone to QPR's ground and found an easy way to win. This is a difficult place to go, but we're in confident mood and in good spirits. We're disappointed with the point last weekend. We felt we should have got more, but we want the next game to come around and test ourselves again. Well, let's hope we get a better referee for the QPR game, because that certainly had an impact against Sunderland. Millwall had a nigh-on capacity crowd for last weekend's 1-1 draw at the Den. It was their third biggest attendance at the new stadium since it opened. And I think someone said it's actually our biggest league attendance at the new ground, beating the game against Oldham in what is League One, when we won that league. It's definitely the best atmosphere I've managed at the Den, said Rowett. There were a couple of moments you could look back at the goal against Charlton, when Smudge scored late on. Because it was a local game and the enormity of the game, we scored last minute. Those things stand with you. But I hadn't been there long then, so it just felt like a great moment anyway. It was great to see the Den full. We've been in tough times and not had it full that many times. Although the fans make a hell of a lot of noise regardless, which is a testament to them. To have it full certainly felt like a top atmosphere. And I'll have some more of those games. Indeed, well, my friend, keep on winning and it will happen. Because the fans will get behind you. And they'll get to the game against Sheffield United. And they'll get to the game against Burnley. Don't worry about that, love. Don't worry about that. Hopefully the fans went away, at least seeing a game that I would imagine they enjoyed. They'd have been disappointed we didn't win, but we'd have seen the chances, some of the decisions. Hopefully they'll be infused and wanting to make it full house many more times. Indeed. And bizarrely, in some kind of reverso world, our away form is actually better than our home form now, with many draws. I think 4 out of our last 5 home games have been draws. Maybe 5 out of 6 actually. We'll find out about that tomorrow actually, as we preview the QPR game in the video. And we've actually got more points away in our last 6 games. We think we've got we've got 4 away wins all season, and 3 of them have been in our last 6 games. So it feels like, fingers crossed, those of you going to QPR, that you might actually see Millwall win at Loftus Road in your lifetime. Can you believe it? It happens very few and far between. But we are feeling very confident, aren't we, Millwall fans? Yes, we are, indeed. So, here we go. Got this news from Southwark. We got this from SouthwarkNews.co.uk. 1 in 3 out for Millwall under 21s after a busy transfer window. So they've written up a piece about the movements of the under 21s. So the Lions have added young defender Frankie Vid on the permanent deal from Bromley, while Isaac Loffey, Hayden Muller, and Visart Tovlodge all departed. Millwall's under 21 team have undergone a significant transition in the January transfer window. Isaac Loffey, Hayden Muller, and Visart Tovlodge was surprisingly allowed to leave on permanent deals, joining Stockport County, Dundalk and Bromley respectively. In turn, the Lions added 18-year-old Frankie Vid in the latter stages of last month, with the defender signing his first professional contract before joining up with Kevin Nugent's side. First team boss Gary Rowett explained the reasoning behind the decision, explaining the cycle the young players go through at Millwall's academy. We had quite a strict process with all young players in our loans, we told News at 10. When we first came in, we said we wanted to try and strengthen the under-21 group. I think Nugie and Robbo would, at times, have 6 or 7 players and sometimes no goalkeeper. It just felt like it was really hard for them to develop. I think we've moved forward a lot in that department, with a lot of work from everyone. We sat down and looked what we needed to do. We spoke about players at the latter stages of that under-21 cycle. They go out on loan. We even need to keep them out or on loan or bring them back to be part of the first team. The likes of Bez, Hayden and Tanto were in that cycle. When you get to the end, you have to make a judgment. The judgment for those three was to let them start their careers with very good at football. They do really well. I'm sure there will always be a little benefit to us with the deals that have been done, but you have to let them go and progress. Indeed. This was, if for anyone paying attention, was probably to be expected. The under-21s was the under-23s, and at the behest, I believe, of the Premier League, who pay money to the other clubs down the pyramid, they said, we want to change this back to an under-21s, because we're spending a lot of money on contracts for players, go from 21 to 24, and they don't get anywhere near our first team. They just disappear, some of them. You've heard tales. Was it the kid at Man City, Michael Johnstone was his name? There's like pictures of him in the takeaways, like bloomed up, fat mess of a kid. But he was top player, and he's just gone and just disappeared into nothingness because he became a millionaire at the age of 21, and he's just gone off the rails. So that's come forward now. It's come forward to 21. So you really need TikTok. You need to get going. If you're 18, like what you're waiting for, because you've got 3 years. And if you ain't there when you're 21, you're gonna be shown the door. Sadly, that's how it is. We can't keep waiting, because if you think about it, when you get to 24, it's 6 years until you're 30 years old. So you got 6 seasons until you're 30, and then it starts. You're lucky if you get to 30 and you're still playing, and then it'll start to decline when you're about 32, 33. So that's no time at all. Certainly isn't. So you need to be there or thereabouts by the time you're 20, 21. And we'll see how that works for the players we've got now. So this popped up early this morning from Scotland. Callum Davidson. I genuinely thought Alex Mitchell was going back to Millwall, says St Johnstone boss. So yeah, we've got a little bit of behind the music, a little insight into what went on behind the scenes, rather than rumours, with some actual quotes and facts. This is from the Courier.co.uk, which I believe is a paper in Perth. Perth, Scotland, not Perth, Australia. Callum Davidson has revealed how close St Johnstone came to losing Lone Star Alex Mitchell for the rest of the season. And it was 2 of Davidson's closest friends in football involved in causing the considerable deadline day grief. Millwall defender Charlie Cresswell, son of his ex-Preston North End pal Richard, courted interest from Stoke last week. The late swoop was relayed by Millwall manager Gary Rowett, who told Davidson, his former number 2 at the Den, he'll be forced to recall Mitchell. The Cresswell deal did not progress, however, much to the relief of panicked Perth boss. Now Davidson is thrilled to have Mitchell available to help Saints with their top 6 bid. Davidson explained, my biggest concern was a phone call from supposedly one of my best mates to tell me I was losing Alex. It was a real possibility, so I phoned another one of my mates because it was his son Charlie causing all the problems. Yes. which is probably explains why Alex Mitchell was kind of dropped to the bench. I'm guessing he probably didn't want to. He wanted to maybe pretend he wasn't fit, or just not have him playing so they couldn't see what he was doing. I thought these are not very good mates I've got, leaving me out to dry like this. There might have been a bit of swearing going on down the phone. Listen, it was out of my control anyway, so there's not a lot I could have done. We had a wee laugh when Gaz said it was okay that Charlie and Alex were both staying put. I think we were both pretty happy at that point. But I generally thought Alex was going back. I didn't know the ins and outs of the deal. The biggest thing for me was not wanting to lose Alex because of the number of games he'd played and how well he's played. I don't particularly like the transfer window for these type of things, so we were delighted that Remy and Connor were staying too. We were a wee bit worried about Connor with the change in manager at Aberdeen. Mitchell has been a Saints success story at centre back for most of the season, and no nonsense defender has flourished alongside the veteran presence of Andrew Considine or Ryan McGowan and captain Liam Gordon. Davidson has challenged Mitchell to rival Gordon for a place inside in the remaining 13 Premiership games. In addition, the manager requires a greater set-piece threat after just one Mitchell goal against Celtic and Denver Park in his 22 outings. Davidson said, Alex has got an unbelievable attitude. He practices every day. He wants to get better, wants to prove himself, wants to play. If he continues doing that, he's got a lot of attributes that will help him play every game. Alex is probably better in the middle of the three when Liam came back and played well. I had to put him out to the right. But for me, he's puts pressure on Liam, so Liam has to make sure his levels are up. Alex is right up there with him on performances. Alex had a wee dip, but he's played over 20 games already. He's delighted. I think we all are delighted with what we managed to get from Alex. I hope he can keep that going until the end of the season. A couple more goals would be nice as well. Actually get his head on a few free kicks. That would be a wee challenge for him to get better at. Indeed. It's a bit of behind the scenes stuff there. So this was true that Leeds were entertaining a deal from Stoke. And we heard earlier, I told you in a video before, we got a quote from Gary Rowett saying Cresswell chose to stay at Millwall. So it seems the deal probably went from Stoke to Leeds, went from Leeds to the player himself, Charlie Cresswell, and he said, "No, I don't want to do that deal. I don't want to go to Stoke." Who can blame him? Like, have you ever been to Stoke? Oh, yeah. So interesting there. Interesting. I wonder if we get any grief for letting that out, letting the cat out of the bag. I don't know. But there you go, Callum Davidson telling us what we kind of already knew. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.